Taste of Country Station. From the Easy Go Studios, KLAW Lawton Fort Sill. Another hour of Oklahoma's best country online at KLAW.com.
It's now time for the J Burke Home Show on KLAW 101. For the next 30 minutes, you'll hear information that will save you money around your house. With your hosts, Eric Sherem and Jay Burke.
And a good morning to you on a Saturday, another weekend, a special weekend too, as we remember those. We salute those who have served, and especially those who gave their lives and the freedoms that we enjoy. We call it Memorial Day. It's not just a day off or a little picnic day. This is more of a somber time that we can remember and reflect, and there's been a lot of that. And whether you go to the graveside or put some flowers or a wreath, we appreciate that. And being in Lawton Fort Sill, we appreciate all of the, it's Fort Sill, you grew up to knowing that the military and all of his influences are here. So our salute to those who are serving and those who have served and those who have given their lives for the freedoms we enjoy today.
Absolutely. And sometimes we forget what that's all about. And my grandfather was a World War II veteran and was in the Army and retired Command Sergeant Major. And I promise you, he lived and breathed the military. And I wish he was still here today, because he was one of those that everything was about the military. And that's why he retired here. And Lawton is such a great place because we have Fort Sill. And so, yes, we do. We want to honor all those that have served and those that have gone on, and we just have the best military in the world. So we're so very, very lucky. We see other countries on TV all the time that are having major issues, and we call upon our military, and they are in an instant second they're out there doing things. So happy Memorial Day, and do enjoy barbecues and enjoy family and some time, and so it's supposed to be a pretty nice weekend. We've been having some crazy storms. It seems like every night we have a storm.
Well, and the good news is last night avoided us. It was kind of pushing off. You could see all those storm heads last night. But, yeah, it's just been kind of on again, off again every other day. I guess another one's late Sunday night, possibly into Monday. But, this is May, close out of May and into June, and hopefully we'll start drying out. But don't want to ever complain about the rain. We definitely needed that. But the storm's not a big fan of that.
I can pass on the hail and the 80-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah,
but,
could you?
But, one of the things that we've been getting a lot of calls from at our offices, our air is working, we think, but the humidity is so high that, it still feels, it's sticky in our home, or we have, we think it's working, and it's the other day when it got up to 90 and it was about 95% humidity. Yeah. We're not used to that in Southwest Oklahoma.
Right.
We are not used to the humidity. And so people are like, I don't care. It feels like it's cooling, but I'm still sweating. And that is not cool. I don't like it. So
welcome to the tropics.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, you're living in Houston, where, and but a lot of people here have really started suffering from the humidity, and so we're doing a whole lot of going out and trying to help people figure out if their systems are too old, and they just have lost capacity, or maybe again systems. We've been to a lot of systems that, and I never talk about other companies, and but there have been units put in that are way oversized for homes, and they just don't get rid of humidity, and so they end up having a house that's, even though the air conditioner's running and it's costing them a lot of money to run it, and they needed a 3-ton, but they have a 5-ton, because back in the day, and I'm just talking about from when my dad and them were in the business. Now, they were very good, but they knew, at the time, that was the technology that was available. And they would say, for every 400 square foot you have inside your home, you need 1 ton of air conditioning. Well, back then, we didn't have the windows we have today. We didn't have the insulation we have today. We didn't have all of those things that we have today to make our houses. We make our houses much tighter today. And so, anyway, but the whole thought was, when I would gone to some houses this last week, I would hear these stories, and people would say, I put new windows on. I've insulated my walls better. I've blown insulation in my walls. I've done this, I've done that. But truthfully, I think it comes down to the fact that, we things have changed in our industry. We now have machines that actually test everything from ductwork to leakage of your home. We can tell you when your doors are leaking and your windows are leaking, and how we can help you fix that. And a lot of it you can fix yourself. It's just caulking windows, or putting new strips around doors, caulking around fireplaces. Fireplaces are huge leakers inside homes, but we have the test equipment that we can come test it, and we test it for free, absolutely free. It doesn't cost you any money.
Really?
I will come myself with one of my men, and we will actually test your home, and we will let you know what you need to do. And sometimes and I know people say, well, Jay, you're out there. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to sell me a new system. But sometimes that's not the case. Your system may be 10 years old, still efficient, maybe 8 years old, 6 years old. We changed one the other day that was 7 years old, and the people just didn't like the system. It was too loud. It cost them a lot of money. It wasn't very efficient, and truthfully, it wasn't installed properly. And so we put their new system in, and they love it. But we made sure everything was sealed right and everything was done right. And so I always say to people, it's good to find a contractor that is reputable, and that obviously you want one that's local. I mean, not stationed out of Fort Worth or Oklahoma City, or have been here for 3 months. Want
Joe working out of the truck.
Yeah, exactly.
Kinda,
and if his truck's broke down, so in your areas, you're just broke down. And so we hear it all the time. We get calls saying, "I just put a unit in 3 or 4 months ago, and those people won't come back." And it just makes me sick, because you go to their house and you think they never get city inspections, they never get PSO money. Oh, we don't participate in the PSO program, is what they'll tell the customer. Well, they don't participate because they don't do it right. And then, we don't participate in CenterPoint Energy. Well, no, they don't do that right either. And so, we know we believe we're the best. I know we're the best. And we get you the rebates that you need that are available. We have a lot of people right now, Eric, that are actually, they're calling me saying, okay, my unit's still running, and I've heard that the rebates, I've listened to your radio show, and I've heard that the rebates may be back in July to August timeframe. And my answer to that is yes. That's what PSO has told us, between July and August. Now, some people, when their unit's out, it's out. I mean, there's just nothing they can do. There's really no money available. We can get a little bit of money for a unit maybe, but nothing like the $3,000 to $5,000 range that's been pretty normal for the program that's out of money at the moment. But July to August, so we've actually got a file of customers that we want to go ahead and come to your home. If you think that's something that you might be interested in getting those rebates, we still would like to come to your home, do the evaluations, do the tests that we're talking about on the ductwork and on the house, and tell you what we think you will qualify for. Now, we don't know the rebate amounts at this point because they haven't told us, and it may be exactly the same as what we had at the first half of the year. But at least we can be ready. So when the money hits, and that other companies are doing the same thing, well, they should be, is getting their customers, if they're running and they know they're wanting to upgrade, and they can wait a month until the money comes back, get us out there, let us look at it, let us get some numbers together and be prepared. So when the money comes back, we get you on the list right away and get that money allocated from PSO, because again, it's a huge amount of money. And for most people, it means really fixing your house right, fixing your system right, and getting money back to do it, to do the job.
Okay, I want to take you back to a thought that you brought up earlier about escaping, for air and stuff. And you touched this upon several shows back. I was trying to remember, when it was that we talked about insulation, and then also you talked a little bit about caulking around your windows and doors. I think what it comes down to is properly checking on that with maintenance, because a lot of times and I'm just speaking from my own experience, if the air is working, everything's working. I don't need to call until it breaks down. But then you and I were talking a little bit about before the show started. If you think back, and they've since, they've changed this, but insurance companies used to allow you to have a dental cleaning every 6 months. And you say, wow, that's great. I wonder why they're doing that. Well, they're doing that because neglect over 2-3 years of not having your teeth cleaned and properly maintained and checked, and cavities could be into the thousands. So, and the insurance company was still paying for that. So they say, you know what? We'd rather get your x-ray once a year, get your teeth cleaning, every 6 months. And most people are nodding. So yeah, I'm on that system too. And how better off are we for it? Well, because maintaining a little bit as we go along pays off dividends in the long run. Okay, now let's switch into heat and air. Heat and air, if we just wait until catastrophe in the middle of summer when it's the hardest working. But if you go back to some of those little things, these little tips that we can shore up, whether it be around the windows and doors, and you say you have equipment that can test that, right?
Yes,
that can show us how much we talked about spider webs. We talked about things where,
Things you never think of.
yeah, that they know where the drafts are coming in because, they get the bugs right there, That makes sense, So they got a good system going down. So you guys pick up on that kind of stuff. But talk a little bit about insulation. I got insulation in my attic. It was put there when the house was built, and my house is X amount of years old. What is the importance of having the right insulation up in our attic? Because I could go up there and say, well, I looked up there and there's stuff up there.
Yeah, and most people do. They'll say, go to their house and we want to look in their attic, and they'll say, well, I've got plenty of insulation, Jay. And I'll say, well, just let me take a look. And most people have anywhere between, some of them 2 inches to 6 inches. That's about the average.
Is that what we're supposed to have? I mean, so
No,
you say
we should have 14 inches. And so,
wow.
Yeah, 14 inches, because that gives you our.
No one educates you on that because, that's the builder. He put it in there. That was what was coated and everything's good. And it's kind of like just having the customary carpet, builder's carpet, as they put, as opposed to something that you'd want.
Well, if you just think 15 years ago, the insulation values were not required in attics. So people blew in what they wanted. They just blew in, just go in there and shoot some insulation up there, and if it's insulated, it's insulated. But when it gets hot in your attic, it can be 150 to 175 degrees in your attic.
Now, I do know that because I don't go up there and do much changing up there.
Yeah, my guys will tell you don't want to be there. But if you're basically putting a blanket in your attic, and I always try to tell people to kind of think of it like a blanket. When you put 14 inches of insulation, so if you've got 6, then we need to add 8 more. And so we blow it in, and we do that ourselves.
You can do that too?
Yes, we blow that in.
Okay.
And that's part of the PSO program that we help blow that in. And we blow it in, and we make sure that you still have the soffit vents are still venting and all the things, because you still want that air to move out, that hot air to get out of there. But we blow it in, and I promise you, what it does is it keeps the heat out of your house during the summertime, and it keeps the warmth in your house in the wintertime. And just insulation alone can save you 30% in utilities. If you don't even change your system, if your system has been there for 15 years, and trust me, and your ductwork's in good shape, because pretty much when you put 14 inches of insulation in your attic, if your ductwork is like a lot of ductwork, which is not truly the way we do it anymore, but in the old days, they laid it flat down on the rafters, and it just laid all across the attic. It looks like a bunch of spider webs. And I put
Christmas decorations over there, and I've crawled across it, and, everything's fine.
Don't worry, I just flattened it a little bit, honey. It's not bad, and she says, but that run room, and it's just you, it's 10 degrees difference back there. Well, Eric crawled across the ductwork, and but they smash it flat, and then it pulls apart, and then we go to attics that don't have insulation, that have metal duct. The insulation has fallen off the ductwork. In the air conditioning season, that ductwork starts to sweat because we're putting cold air through it with moisture in it, and it starts to sweat. It leaks down onto your attic. It causes mold, and then it starts leaking through your sheetrock, and you'll start noticing water spots on your ceilings, and you're thinking, what is in the world? My roof must be leaking. No, it's your ductwork. And people will see it around their grills. They'll see moisture spots on their grills, rust on their grills.
Mm-hmm. I've seen that too.
And that's truly that it's not wrapped, it's not sealed properly, and that's why it's doing it. And then you insulate over top of all that. And now all of our ductwork now we hang it in the attic. So we can blow insulation, we can blow that blanket solid all the way across the attic. So the whole floor of the attic is actually insulated as a blanket. And people will tell me, and we've done hundreds and hundreds of these jobs, and people will say, I never knew the difference until now. I never knew sealing my ductwork. I never knew sealing my house and adding insulation. And yes, we want you to add a more efficient system if you need it. But if you don't need it, sometimes we just do insulation and duct sealant and duct replacement.
And that's a good point to come across. I mean, you offer these other services that they don't have to be all or nothing. We could just come out and just blow insulation.
Well, we go to houses that are 7 years old and they just don't have insulation, especially where there's no inspections. And I'm not dogging on people that build houses outside of city limits, because the city of Lawton requires you to have inspections. City of Cache requires inspections now. There's City of Duncan requires inspections, and we work in all those communities. Some of your really small communities, they don't have inspectors. They just don't have them. And so a lot of times you'll get contractors out there that just do the basic. I mean, if you get a dusting of insulation, you're probably lucky. And we go out there and look at new homes, and they'll say, we're freezing, and our electric bill is $500 a month. It's total electric, and it's $500 a month in the wintertime. And you go look at it and you think, you have no insulation. We blow insulation, cut that electric bill in half. Just insulation alone. And so it's that important. Making sure your attic is vented properly. We even do. We have attic fans that are solar. You don't even hear them, and so you don't have to worry about wiring them. We cut them in. We install them, and they're solar vents. You know how you used to have the turbines that spin, and wing, 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 wing.
Yeah.
They start
when they
making that
rust.
noise.
When they rust,
yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then all the neighbors know that your turbines are open again. Because back in the day, I remember my grandfather used to always tell me, reminded me, okay, get the ladder. Come wintertime, you didn't want to let the heat escape from the house, so get the ladder. Get on the roof and put the trash bag on that.
Oh, that's why the trash bags are on there. I never knew.
Wrap it with duct tape, and then halfway through the year, my grandmother would say, "the bag's falling off. Get another bag." So Jay was up there, in the middle of the winter, putting bags on these vents. But now we don't even do those type of vents anymore. Nobody puts those type of vents back on their home, and now they have ridge vents and along the roof, and then but these solar. Vents can be installed on any house, any type of roof, metal, shingled, whatever it is, and they're super quiet. They cost you no electricity because they're solar. They can do, I think it's hail up to the size of baseballs before it even damages it, and the motors are so quiet you don't even know it's on. But that can keep your attic from being 150 to 160, 170 degrees. It can get that attic down to the 90s. And because we're pulling from the soffit vents around the vents around the outside of your house, we pull that up through the attic and it goes out the roof. So we're constantly having a circulation. And then with that insulation in there, it just makes your house much more efficient. And people say, my unit doesn't run like it used to. Well, it's because we're able to maintain the room temperatures the way we should.
Well, I like what you're saying with a free estimate. And we got to announce that again. A free estimate. You come out there and you can assess all that, as opposed to someone that's saying, I'm just going to look at your air conditioning. I don't care about your, insulation. I don't care about it leaking out your windows and doors. That, it's just a matter of fact. And then just look at only one thing specific. You're kind of looking at the whole thing, and it's a better process. Give us a phone number where we can get lined up with you immediately for a free estimate.
You can call 1-800-AIR-REPAIR, or our local number is 354-0330. And it's answered 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So if you have a problem and you have an air conditioning problem and your air's out in the middle of the night, we don't care. We have guys on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And so we will somebody will answer the phone live. It's not a recording. You'll get a live person that will call out to the technician. And if you're one of our Comfort Club members, like you talked about having the teeth cleaned, we have maintenance agreements where we come out twice a year and we let you pay it monthly. So it's the minimum it's $12.95 a month. $12.95
comfort knowing that I'm in comfort. Yeah.
And I don't pay overtime ever. And the more that we have different levels of those programs, you may not even pay service calls ever. And we're not talking a huge expense. And sometimes people think, well, I've got to spend $300 or $400 to get on that club. No, $12.95 a month gets you in our silver Comfort Club level. And you get 15% discount on filters. If you ever have a problem, you get rebates. Even if you have an older system and you're not ready to change, you get on our program and you think, hey, in 5 years, I'm probably going to change. You get discounts instantly for new systems and you're a Comfort Club member. So you can save $200 to $500 depending on what level you are getting ready to put a new system in. So we want to take care of you year round. Even if your system is older, and you're right, Eric, sometimes people don't, heating and air is it's not an attractive thing.
No,
it's not one of those
because
things.
It's working.
Yeah.
You don't think about it when it's working. A time that when you think about it is, I come home and it's hot and it stopped working, and now I'm in panic mode. Because it's hot.
Well, one of the things people always think too is, okay, I've got to spend $6,000, $8,000, $10,000, whatever that number is. I've got to spend this depending on the size of their house and what they got to do. We offer financing, and most of our financing they can get financing for up to 120 months or 60 months, and the payments are average about $100 a month. And we hardly ever have anyone that doesn't get approved. The companies we use work with you, and the interest rate's like 4.9%. There's no early payoff fees. They don't put liens on your home. They don't put a lien on your car or ask for your first child. All they do is use the equipment as collateral. So you're not having to go out and do some crazy loan. And I made sure of it. I made sure if they paid it off, if they got a tax return in 3 years and they said, I'm just going to pay that thing off, there's no payoff fees. There's no early payoff fees. There's no silliness. And so we watch out for our customers, and we make sure that they get the best deal possible. But at the same time, not everyone has $8 to $6, $5, $8, $10,000, whatever that number is. They don't have that in the bank.
Right.
It's just like, oh, I'll write you a check.
Most don't. The average is not much as far as a backup, savings.
Well, we don't.
Just
most of us
extreme budget.
Well, we're raising families. Like me, got a daughter in college.
Yeah,
I'm broke. But it's one of those things of we do need credit
she
at
probably
times.
Heard that. By
I hope she's finally got a job, so I'm happy about that. Okay. So, but no, it's truthfully, we want to help you, and we can help you figure out a way to do it. And that's even including repairs. If you need a repair and it's $1,000 repair, we can help you get financed on a $1,000 repair, a $500 repair, a $300 repair. It doesn't matter the amount. We can help you get financed and make it where it's something you can get done. Some people say, well, I don't have $700 to get this something fixed, Well, we have financing available for that too. And again, the rates are reasonable. It's not crazy, and we'll help you figure out a way to get your air back on.
All right, we're going to take a break, come back, talk with Jay, and talk about how much money you can save by the proper insulation. What about doors and windows? I want to talk to you a little bit about that for a second, and we'll be back right after this.
Hi, I'm Jay Burke from J&J Burke Heating and Air. At J&J Burke, we just combined the rebates from PSO and CenterPoint Energy to save you thousands on the most energy-efficient systems available. J&J Burke is a 2014 PSO Partner of the Year for the entire state of Oklahoma. We are the best at getting you the rebates. So call us at 1-800-AIR-REPAIR or go to jjburk.com and learn how you could save thousands today. I'm Jay Burke, and you can count on my company because you can count on me. Hi, Jay Burke here from J&J Burke Heating and Air. At J&J Burke, we've been helping you save money and have a more energy-efficient home with the Power Forward rebate program. Now, we can help you save even more. At J&J Burke, we've added rebates from CenterPoint Energy. Now the combination of rebates from PSO and CenterPoint Energy could save you thousands on the purchase of the most energy-efficient heating and cooling systems available. If your energy bills are too high, and whose aren't, call J&J Burke and use the new PSO and CenterPoint Energy combined rebate program. J&J Burke is a 2014 PSO Partner of the Year for the entire state of Oklahoma. We are the best at getting you the rebates. So call us at 1-800-AIR-REPAIR or find us online at jjburk.com. and learn how J&J Burke, PSO, and CenterPoint Energy can save you even more money now. I'm Jay Burke, and you can count on my company because you can count on me.
All right. Think a horn is stuck. Oh, there you go.
Wow.
We're right across from the Central Fire Station, so there's no sense of panic or urgency when you hear that on live radio. It is live radio. We can't edit that out. The show must go on. But every Saturday morning, well, actually, a lot of mornings they come out and test everything. They test. Everything's working.
They're
on
prepped.
the truck. So
They're
even
ready.
the horn is working.
The horn works.
Anyway, I was talking a little bit about insulation earlier and about the importance, and you said 30%. Yeah, that's significant. When you say, if I just get the right proper insulation, I can save 30%. Now you just do it. Just do the calculator, know how much money you spend a month, and take off 30% and say, would you like to have that extra of going to the movies or going out to dinner a couple of times extra, or just have some extra savings? Okay, what about how much make the difference around doors and windows? Am I losing a lot with it? And I know you have a tester, and it was pretty neat the way you say how this test shows about, and visually people can actually see how much they're losing, because you got the best unit in the world and it's cooling down, but it does you no good when a lot of it's escaping. As my mom used to say, and way back when she said about leaving the door open when we went out,
right? She
goes, we're not living in a barn, you close those doors, because she knows all that heat or all that, so I'm not heating the outdoors, I'm not cooling the outside down, I remember all those things, so they knew the significance of just those little things. So even when the door's shut, you may be losing more than what you think.
And most people think that small crack you can see of light coming around your door is no issue. And we've all had it.
Just for spiders.
I've had it in my house. And I've even thought, I see a crack around my door. It doesn't fit tightly. It doesn't really seal. Sometimes what we've gone out and found is that, and we all are like this, and not that you need to make sure if you're going to change the seal inside your door that you get the right type of seal for the type of door that you have. You can't put a wood seal, it's a different type of a rubber gasket, basically, that goes inside your door. We've always seen those that are, and some of them look like felt paper. I don't know what they are, but they're terrible. Don't use them. Get the right one for your door. The metal doors have a special door kit that goes inside of them. Wood doors, same way. Get the right one that fits, and you want a snug fit with your door when your door shuts, because you want that to be, basically there's no air escaping around your door. A lot of times it's the threshold below the door. It's starting to rot out, and it gets old, and it's been wet, and it sometimes they need to be adjusted. There's adjustments on them, and most people don't even know that. You can't even, how do I adjust that thing? Well, it's got screws down there. You can actually adjust them, and so you need to raise it a little bit, or you need to lower it a little bit, and it's dragging, and so we work on all of those things. But it's huge, Eric, because when we do the blower door test on your house, when we basically put this plastic door on, open. It's
cool. I like hearing about the test because it just sounds so awesome.
You put the door on, you put the big fan on, and you are basically sucking all the air out of the house, and you're bringing about a 25-mile-an-hour wind in from the outside. You're trying to suck 25-mile-an-hour wind in through the house, and you shouldn't be able to. If your house is right, you shouldn't be able to do it. It should show that it's sealed. And some we go to, they're sealed. They're good. They may have little small things, hey, caulk around that window, or do this or do that, small stuff. But some, especially the biggest leakers we have, doors, windows, fireplaces, interior heaters, and hot water tanks that are interior to the house, they're huge leakers, because usually there's an open hole that goes all the way up to the attic. It comes down, it goes through that door that's not insulated, that goes right around that seal. There's no seal on those doors, and it comes right into your home. And so every time that the wind blows outside, winter, summer, it's coming in. You don't realize it. We get used to it because we think it's an okay thing. But if we can stop that from happening, and we can seal it, and it's not expensive stuff to do. Some of it's, you can go buy kits for $50, and sometimes less than that, $25. It just depends on what kind of door you have. But you can seal them. Caulk is cheap. I mean, and I know.
Yeah, but it's messy on my fingers.
Exactly. Well, that's why you hire us, and we'll come get our fingers messy,
Okay, I got you.
So, but we caulk windows, exterior and interior. We make sure that everything is sealed up. And, once you do that, fireplaces are the worst. And I never knew that. If somebody told me 5 years ago, your fireplace is causing you a lot of leakage in air, I'd have said, I keep the draft thing,
Right.
I close the damper, and I'm good. There's no draft. Yes, there's a draft. And it's usually around the brick on the outside of the wall, especially if it's an exterior wall that has a fireplace.
It's me.
It leaks like crazy. And because there's no insulation behind that, there's nothing between outside and that brick.
You're coming over because I'm going to be a test subject, because I'm going to tell you I am going to be flawed in insulation.
I'm
going to be flawed in my door and windows. I'm just flawed.
You're going to come in with caulk in your hair.
My duct cleaning, I'm going to have the full.
So Eric, what are you doing? I got caulk in my hair because I've been caulking all my windows. But you forget about it. And I'm talking even new homes. Over time, caulk just starts to crack and go. We've all seen it where the caulk comes out and the caulk is not there anymore. And just that small amount of caulk can mean a huge difference in your utility bills, because if you're bringing it in, it's hot or it's cold, and you're having to heat and cool that. So again, utility bills get higher, and your indoor air quality is terrible.
So not just heat and air. It's not broke, and I don't need it fixed because it's not broke, but I do want to find out about my insulation. I want to find about the air escaping that, doesn't make my house as efficient. I just give you a call and you can do that. I mean, you're just not just the heat and air inside and outside unit. You're concerned about a little bit more.
Whole house comfort, a whole house, and we will come, and it's absolutely free.
Phone number?
354-0330 or 1-800-AIR-REPAIR.
Okay. And then briefly, as the final exit, we talked about, PSO's out, CenterPoint Energy still has rebates. And you mentioned something about Lennox. Were they offering rebates?
We still have $1,700 worth of Lennox rebates.
Okay.
Depending on the system that you purchase. and we'll tell you about that when we come out as well.
Okay. Give Jay a call. Of course, either the 1-800 number or the local number at 24 hours a day. Love that. Free estimates as well. The J&J Burke Home Show each and every Saturday morning right here at KLaw 101. Have a great and safe weekend.
Happy Memorial Day.
Hi, Jay Burke here from J&J Burke Heating and Air. At J&J Burke, we've been helping you save money and have a more energy efficient home with the Power Forward rebate program.